we thought,
Oh,
well,
really? So you just made him today?
yep, because we knew something was going on, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I gave him his mine. I said, this doesn't mean no good, so I might as well keep it, you know. I better get an agenda too.
I'll let him know.
I don't know if it's because of maybe it's because of the
That's what he said.
She just got that new position. Maybe got lost in the
If there's questions, just, okay. Okay.
Hey, Mayor. I don't know how your iPad, but we made copies of the whole packet because they were having so many problems. We weren't sure if they were going
More to do. All right. Good. Thanks, Paul. We'll make it quick.
The summary?
to, yeah, we'll make it.
Hi, boss.
Hi.
Need an agenda? Anybody need an agenda?
Oh, yeah, I need a
Mine doesn't work. Mine doesn't work.
Yeah, I changed. You didn't? Did you try changing your password?
Yeah, he changed it for me, but I tried typing it. It won't give me the meeting. Yeah. Yeah.
See, it gave me my meetings here. It didn't give them to me under the regulars.
Should we get going, Bob?
I'd like to. A little bit early.
Oh, 5:30. That's wrong.
Oh,
Hey,
Mike's a little early, aren't you?
Is it wrong or too early?
That's
it's
wrong.
wrong. Yeah.
Okay, then.
Well, let's watch. 5:31.
OMG.
5:31.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. Almost on time. Silent.
Okay, this is the pre-council meeting for April 15th, 2019,
Councilman, you got a meeting.
chaired by Mayor Odekirk. Thank you. And Pauline will call the roll.
Mayor Odekirk,
Here.
Councilman Dickinson. Here. Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman. Here. Councilman Turk.
Here.
Okay, first we have citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak on an agenda item? Okay, none. And, I think at this moment, then, we will turn this over to the city manager.
Paulie, can we call the liquor hearings first?
Call it, okay,
Thank you.
sure. First,
Yeah, this is under license and permit applications. So there are two. This is Council Memo 184-19 and 185-19. Class A Johnny's and Class D K-Ribs.
A public hearing was held on March 27, 2019 at 9 a.m. for a request for a transfer of an A liquor license. The applicant is Melissa Powell, Johnny's Inc., DBA Johnny's, located at 1008 North Hickory Street. No citizens were at the hearing to be heard, and no outstanding monies owed to the city. The police and fire have no issues with the license. The building department has to do a re-inspect after there are a few things that are fixed. Based on the facts of the hearing, the Liquor Commissioner is recommending approval of the license. Next is Council Memo 185-19. A public hearing was held on 3/27/19 at 9:15 a.m. for a request for a new Class D liquor license. The applicant is K-Ribs Barbecue, Inc., owner Jessica Kim, DBA K-Ribs Barbecue, located at 221 North Chicago Street. There are no citizens to be heard, no outstanding monies owed to the city. Police, fire, and building departments have no issues with the license. Based on the facts of the hearing, the Liquor Commission is recommending approval of the license. Any questions?
Questions?
question.
Yes.
Is there a deadline on that one liquor license for, let's see, the one before that for Johnny's? There's some, it says before liquor license is granted, she'll need to do some current building.
They cannot get the license until the building department signs
No,
off.
I understand that, but I mean, is
I'm
there a
not sure what the time frame is.
for her
I
to
can
do
find
that?
out from the building department, but I'm not sure.
That's
at
all I
this
wanna
time.
know.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can find out.
Thank you.
And then if you would just let me know, I can let the council know.
Okay.
Okay, let's just back up a little bit. There's going to be a presentation on the upcoming yearly gypsy moth treatment and a proclamation declaring April 26th as Arbor Day in Joliet. Under council committee reports, the council committees Economic Development, Finance, Prison, Public Safety, and Public Service will all provide their reports. Three items are on the consent agenda: approval of minutes, invoices paid, and 2019 deteriorated roadway resurfacing program. Under license and permit applications, there's a request from Chicagoland Speedway to host a carnival during their NASCAR weekend. A reminder, that weekend is June 27th through June 30th, and I know there are representatives here from Chicagoland Speedway if there are any questions. 3 representatives. 3. I think there's number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Okay, sounds good. I have no.
Well, welcome.
Again, the reminder is June 27th through June 30th.
Step up, Scott.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for allowing us a few minutes on the agenda today. So the purpose of this request is, historically, we had been a September event weekend, and we kicked off NASCAR's playoffs. And with the change in schedule back to our original summer date, we needed to reinvent and rebrand the weekend and what it stood for. And so we rallied around this thematic of a NASCAR Summer Festival weekend. So anything you think of when you think of a summer festival, from we are bringing in the biggest names in professional barbecue to conduct a professional barbecue competition with the pros and our fans, to a pit bike motocross competition, to you name it, and a carnival is a big part of that as well. So it'll be open just traditional hours along with the race weekend, so nothing late into the evening or anything like that, but we think it'll be a nice content ad for our fans.
Any questions? Sounds exciting.
It does sound very exciting.
Do you have to be a professional to join the... I do have a very large trophy in my office. I don't know if you noticed.
It's got a piece of tape with your name on it. Come on.
We'll sign you up.
What do you say?
Are these the pit masters that you see on the contests on television, on Food Network?
You know what? We have Dr. Barbecue coming, believe it or not. That's real. And Myron Mixon, who's one of the biggest names. So we're excited about it. This is the Kansas City affiliated organization
It's the
that
big
is
one.
the name in barbecue, so we think it's going to be a fun weekend for the fans.
They count me out.
Yeah. It's a little intimidating, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah.
Byron is amazing. I watch him on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Very
awesome.
good.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the council's time.
Thank you.
All right, there's also an application for a drive-through permit for Panera. It's the former Applebee's restaurant at 2400 West Jefferson, and there was no objection from staff. Under public hearings, there's one public hearing with a request that it be tabled to May 21st.
Will we do the hearing regardless?
Yeah, I think we'll open it and continue it just like we did last time.
Okay.
Under ordinances and resolutions, ordinances, Council Memo 189-19, ordinance approving the reclassification of 7.5 acres at 2800 West Schweitzer Road from I-1 Light Industrial to ITC Intermodal Terminal Industrial Park zoning. No one appeared to object at the March 21 Plan Commission meeting. Council Memo 190-19, there are 2 ordinances. Ordinance approving a preliminary plat of Centerpoint Intermodal Center at Joliet Subdivision, Phase 21, and an ordinance approving a recording plat of Centerpoint Intermodal Center at Joliet Subdivision, Phase 21. No one appeared to object at the March 21 Plan Commission meeting. Council Memo 191-19, ordinance approving a variation of use to allow continuation of a 4-unit and R4 multifamily residential use in an R3 1 and 2 family residential zoning district located at 432 Elwood Street. Recall this matter was on the March 19th council agenda and tabled. Since that council meeting, staff met with the property owner and his interpreter and went over the timeline for improvements, and the owner is in agreement. In addition, a memorandum of understanding has been prepared in English and Spanish, delineating the expectations. It is attached, and if the council approves the variation, the owner will execute. The owner and his interpreter are both here today if there are any questions.
Alrighty.
Okay, council.
I think we're,
I'm his interpreter, and this is
Okay.
Roberto Ari Peita Ortega. If you have any questions.
any questions?
It's all good.
I think we're good. Thank you.
Tomorrow, 6:30.
All right, thank you.
Council Memo 192-19, ordinance approving the tax increment financing district eligibility study and redevelopment plan and project for Silver Cross area redevelopment project area, ordinance designating the Silver Cross area redevelopment project area, and an ordinance adopting tax increment financing. To implement the TIF, it is necessary to adopt these three ordinances. The purpose is to provide a means of stabilizing the immediate neighborhood and to provide an economic development tool to encourage redevelopment. Okay, next is Council Memo 193-19, ordinance amending ambulance services and fees and a resolution approving and authorizing execution of an agreement with Andres Medical. We're going to withdraw the resolution portion tomorrow, so we're only going to be looking for passage of the ordinance only regarding ambulance fees. The current rates do not maximize allowable revenues from one of our main payment sources, private insurance, per our billing consultant, Andres Medical. So again, tomorrow, the only thing before your consideration is the ordinance amending the ambulance services, and we're going to withdraw the resolution. Council Memo 194-19, ordinance declaring certain properties public nuisances. They are 561 Dover, 600 East Cass, 1213 Lynn Ave, 350 North Ottawa, 514 South Eastern, 601 Eastern, Western, excuse me. 601 Western and 659 3rd Ave. And I just want you to keep in mind this is only one of the steps in the process. Ultimately, the city will need to petition the court to take action on these. Thank you. Council Memo 195-19, ordinance amending the 2019 annual budget for purchase of a replacement dive team boat for the fire department. It was discovered last month that the Joliet Fire Department main boat, which is 25 years old, has a large portion of its fiberglass hull peeling off. So this is to purchase a new one. Under resolutions, Council Memo 197-19, resolution authorizing execution of an economic incentive agreement with CarMax Auto Superstore. This would be at the northeast corner of Route 59 and Theodore. The proposed project will cover approximately 5 acres. For your information, CarMax is the largest retailer of used vehicles in the country. The economic incentive agreement is potentially worth up to $3.7 million. Currently, the property generates zero for the city since it is not annexed. It is anticipated that this project alone will net approximately $2.5 million in sales in 15 years for the city and between $65,000 and $95,000 in property taxes per year to all the various taxing bodies, one of which is the city of Joliet. The council memo details the finer points of the proposed economic incentive agreement. And today we have Jason Pruitt, real estate manager with CarMax, and attorney Dave Silverman, if you have any questions for them.
Morning, I have a question for staff. In the economic development meeting, it was mentioned that this incentive package is slightly higher than what we did a year ago or 2 years ago for Hawk. And Steve, I know you had some answers as to why that was the case. Could you put that on the record, please?
Sure, that's correct. Really, it came down to a few things. Keep in mind that CarMax has a facility in Naperville and Tinley Park, and there's a good deal of folks within Joliet region who are going to those stores and basically buy late model used cars. So there's somewhat of a cannibalization factor that would occur in the store here. It's great for us because in effect it's keeping those potential car buyers in our community as opposed to going outside, and also attracting folks who might be living to the south or southwest who are going to come to Joliet as opposed to the other two locations. But from CarMax perspective, it cannibalizes their operation a little bit, so certainly it's not like we're going into a brand new territory where they would expect X number of cars and X number of profits to occur immediately. Secondly, and maybe more important for the reason that the Hawk differential was justified, one of the sites that Hawk was looking at as they were considering looking at locations was actually this property. And I do remember that the broker indicated that the costs associated with the land and the development costs, because the utilities have to be extended throughout this site, it led them to take a pass because of costs. And that's one aspect that they brought forward with regard to the incentive, indicating that the land value being offered is quite high. So those two factors together, we felt on the staff justified a little bit of a higher incentive value. They will also be within the maturity of the dealership operating probably the highest sales facility within the community in terms of number of cars sold. So certainly it's something that's an advantage to us. They've not shopped the dealership to other communities. We know there are at least 2 communities on our border who would love to get a car dealer. So we felt that it was worth us extending a little bit of additional incentive to make sure that we can locate Joliet.
And I would just add, thank you, Steve. That was a good summary. By the way, there's no communities that want you. It's just us. So what we're addressing is the leakage. And, we've talked with Steve, leakage has been a problem, or a consideration for us, and where are our tax dollars going? And I think that we looked at something, maybe 80 cars a month will be cars that currently will be purchased either in Naperville or in Tinley Park that will now come home and give us those taxes. And then, of course, you're going to pull further from west and south, as Steve pointed out. And so I think it would be a great addition to the city regarding that. It's a win-win.
Mayor?
Yes.
Mayor, one question, Steve. Is it in the agreement that in order to get these concessions or these economic incentives, that the facility is built with local union labor?
Within the sales tax sharing, we have the standard language that actually is part of state statutes that talks about exactly that. So that is within the agreement.
It is.
If you give me 30 seconds, I can probably find the section.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I know that we had done this for the Holiday Inn out there, and they ended up not going union, so we pulled the incentives back off.
It's section 1(2)(b). So it cites the statute under the Illinois Prevailing Wage Act.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay, the vote will be okay, Council Memo 198-19, a resolution authorizing approval of an intergovernmental cooperation agreement with the County of Will concerning the Will County Continuum of Care. Will County and Joliet are HUD grantees that receive community planning and development grants. The city and the county are charged with providing general oversight of the continuum of care, and this IGA memorializes the responsibilities of the city and the county. Next is Council Memo 199-19, resolution authorizing an amendment to the intergovernmental cooperation agreement between the City of Joliet and the Joliet Park District regarding the Joliet Splash Station Water Park. This matter is actually up for discussion at the Joliet Park District meeting going on right now. So based on their discussion, this may be a moot point. So rather than have a lengthy discussion tonight, just ask that we hold off until tomorrow, and depending what happens at their meeting, it's either going to be A, pulled off the agenda, or B, we can talk about it tomorrow.
Also, I've been told if it does move forward tonight, then they will have representatives here tomorrow to answer any questions that people have. But I'm not sure that's going to happen based on what I've been hearing.
So that's kind of a placeholder for depending on what happens. Okay, Council Memo 200-19, resolution approving a memorandum of understanding MOU for Illinois Route 53 and Emerald Drive and Lairway Road between IDOT and the City of Joliet. I know this is something that we've been discussing for quite a while. Hopefully this will accelerate the process for the installation of a traffic light at 53 and Emerald Drive. Council Memo 201-19, resolution appropriating motor fuel tax funds for the Phase 3 engineering services for the Chicago Street roadway improvements, Washington to Jefferson project. And under bids and contracts, they were reviewed by Public Service Committee, who will report on any issues tomorrow. And that's all I have. Is there any questions?
There's no. Next is public comments. Is there anyone who would like to speak under public comments?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. I thought I was going to fall asleep there for a second. I took my medication before I got here. But tonight I'm coming before the City Council to tender my resignation to Mayor Oderkirk effective May 24th. I want to attend the next two meetings to get some clarifications on our contracts with Carlson Construction concerning our Phase 3 development at Liberty Meadows. Mike, I wanted to tell you that you have to be careful because that's one of the things I'm going to talk with Carlson is when they talk about prevailing wages, it doesn't necessarily mean union.
Right.
And I'm going to make that clarification to them that I want union. And they're going to, and I'm very confident after my meeting last week with Carlson Construction that they will work closely with our building trades and ensure that there is a union and also minority contractors. And we had a lengthy meeting.
Well, that's why I put in my comments union, because if we're
Yeah.
giving incentives, I think we need to get that back.
Correct. But I'm doing it because I had a tenure in 1991 under Mayor Schultz, and Mayor Schultz was a good family friend, and I thought it was a successful tenure, and then I was appointed by Mayor Oderkirk. And I want to say to the mayor that these past 4 years have been a great experience, and I want to thank you for giving me that opportunity, but more importantly, someone who's been involved in this community for over 35 years. And I want to add this. You know, old Joliet would say that would applaud when I say that I was born and raised here, like my aunt who's going to turn 96 on May 4th. She was born and raised in Joliet. But I think we've moved beyond that, and that was proven in the last election with your election, Mayor, because you're not born and raised in Joliet. So it shows that we're moving in the right direction as a city, that we're embracing everyone. And that was proven by you not being contested and winning by the largest percentage in the history of the city. Also, I want to say that, Mr. Mayor, during the 4 years, that in my 35 years experience, being on the Housing Authority, not being on the Housing Authority, you were the first mayor to actually go out to the sites with me and take questions from the public for over an hour at various sites and walk for the first time, first mayor in history to walk Fairview. I think that was significant. That sent a message to the residents that you care about the city. And when you appointed me, you asked me to make sure that I took the residents into consideration first, which I think I've done. In the 4 years, we addressed some major issues with the elevators, the bed bug infestation, and of course we got our Water's Edge project completed, which we demolished an area that was a blight on the community, and also we're in the process of doing that with Fairview. I also want to thank Councilwoman Gavin. She was the first District 4 City Council person that I've worked with from the 70s till today that walked the area with us and held meetings with us. So I want to thank you for that. Councilman Morris, you were the second one because Warren Doris sat on the Housing Authority Board as a councilman, and he also walked with me at Des Plaines, was very instrumental when we put brand new basketball courts and playgrounds in all 3 of our developments we had at that time. But you worked with the residents with me, and I want to thank you for that. But one of the main reasons, because I want to spend more time with my grandchildren. A lot of people don't know at the age of 39 I had a TIA, which is a minor stroke. And at the age of 47 I had a major stroke, which left a bruise in the back of my brain and a splattering. Luckily for me, I didn't suffer any major damage. A few days, or 3 days ago, I was at work and I was taken by our fine Joliet Fire Department to emergency room because I was disoriented and didn't know what was going on, and found out that I was severely dehydrated. So I look at my experiences in life and a couple of close calls, and I want to spend more time with my grandchildren. However, I will remain active in the community. I will continue to go in the neighborhoods and work with the people in the neighborhoods, but I'll have a lot of free time because, as the mayor knows, once he appointed me, I was a hands-on person who went actually into developments, answered calls, 15 to 16 a week, from one development to the next, and addressed them. In fact, Councilman Turk, you called me one time on a lighting issue that we addressed within 24 hours. So I will continue to be active, and I want to say to those out there, you know, one of the things that I've experienced that I didn't like about it was whether it was a picture that I sent in or it was a comment I made in a story, I always had these cowards who come after you on the patch, on the online commentary. And it didn't bother me, but it bothered my family. My daughter, you know, she was really upset about all that. But as we saw that none of those individuals, those fake profiles, those cowardly individuals had any impact on this last election, because one of the main people that was attacked was our mayor. And he ran a uncontested race and was very successful. So I won't miss any of them, but I will start responding to them now on, now that I can. But I want to thank all of you that sit on the council for your support that you gave us with the Water's Edge project, and that you've given us with the third phase that we're presently doing. We're going to do 41 new homes. And that's why the last 2 meetings I'll be attending, I'll be working on that and also finishing up some discussions with our general contractor. But it was great working with all of you. I've worked with Mike for many, many years. Mike walked with me in the Benton Street area when that was being terrorized in the 1990s. Remember that, Mike? And we got the Benton Street cut off. Me, you, and Warren walked that at 7:30 at night. So I've had great experiences with all of you, and I will continue that, but just not as a housing commissioner, but I will be working very closely in the communities. I will be walking. In fact, I'm going to walk the Cunningham neighborhood next week and do a live feed. So I will continue to do that, but I will not be on the Housing Authority Board anymore. I want to free up my time and spend more time with my grandchildren. But I want to thank all of you for your help during my tenure, and especially thank you, Mr. Mayor. You've done a great job as our leader in the city, and you gave me the opportunity to sit on this board, and I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank our Joliet police officers in the blue uniforms. They were there, whether I was walking Fairview, whether I was walking our Bluff Street development, they were always there, and they've done a great job in protecting our residents. In fact, we had a major problem in our Otter Street facility over the last several years. In the last 2 months, Joliet police officers in blue uniforms have cleared that up. So I want to thank them for their great work. Again, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for giving me the opportunity to serve you, and effective May 24th, I will resign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. No closes.
All right, no closed session? A motion and second to adjourn. Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudron?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
And the meeting is adjourned.
One more for John.